What do people joke about that really shouldn't be a joke? Let me put it this way. My good friend had a wife that basically left him and was with another guy. He was heartbroken, and when he told me about it he said, my wife left me for another guy and I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. But you know what the worst thing is? The Patriots aren't going to the Super Bowl this year. Fast forward a few months and his separated but still wife died out of nowhere. Regardless of all that happened, he still loved her. She was the mother of their 2 children. He befriended her boyfriend that she left him for and they were able to grieve together. He tells me how they are jokingly ripping on each other and my friend tells him, you know, my wife left me for you but I had to find a more concrete way to leave you. Humor is a coping mechanism. Anything and everything is fair game to make into a joke in the right context. As someone who uses humor to cope with my grief, I got a good chuckle out of the ex-husband's joke, lol. So my bald brother told us he had completely curable cancer. Wouldn't even need chemo. My response: thank God you won't lose your hair. We all laughed and it broke the tension. My mom was bald all my life due to alopecia. Got asked all my life if she had cancer. In 2018, she did get cancer. People kept asking. To make things awkward I'd say yeah, she has cancer but that's not why she's bald. I don't think there's anything a good comedian can't make a joke based on, but the key there is a good comedian, not some edgelord who thinks saying something shocking is funny. Shocking can be funny too, but you need impeccable timing. Stand-up comedy isn't something you can easily do. It takes a lot of practice working your craft, studying and perfecting your routine. People in a vegetative state. My wife was in one for over 3 years and she was 100% cognitive. I took care of her at home day and night until she passed 5 feet from me, and believe it or not, they still have feelings and emotions. In all reality, anything can and should be joked about. It's just the audience you do it with. Laughter and joking is a great coping mechanism. That's why you see firefighters, EMS, military act have such dark humor. It's to clean away all the awful crap we have to see. Now dropping joke about it at a kid's birthday party with people that aren't in the service is not appropriate. Timing is also important. Like, you might joke about suicide with your friend all the time, but if that friend has someone close to them actually commit suicide, you might want to take a break for a while. My friend, who made a cancer joke that I shot down before knowing his mom was battling breast cancer, once told me that you will live in fear if you aren't able to laugh at a situation. When that happened to me, jokes were a nice way of softening reality, so I guess everyone is different. Harming animals. I get not everyone likes pets. Some people had bad experiences and now hate either cats or dogs. I had a co-worker say, cats are why wood chippers were invented. I can't stand children, but I never make jokes about harming them. Your co-worker's comment is actually psychotic, WTF. Americans love saying dingo ate your baby lines to Australians. That poor woman had her child killed and eaten by wild animals, and was then accused, found guilty and sentenced to hard labor for it. That's like some reverse Scooby-Doo kind of tragedy. I'm going to say it's suicide. I have classmates who have been joking about suicide recently and I about punched one of them in the face cause they wouldn't stop joking about it. See, people think it's all fun and games to joke about, but if they only knew the pain that comes along with losing someone to suicide. It hurts. You used to think it'd be okay to joke about it, now you can't stand it. It's going to be my first Thanksgiving without dad. Suicide is no joke, people. Take it serious and it help those who are in need. If you don't think someone's doing alright, check in on them. You don't know what you have until they're gone. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Everything is a joke. It's all fair game. It's about tact. Just because you shouldn't crack a dead baby joke to the grieving mother during the funeral doesn't mean that dead baby jokes are off limits entirely. There are no limits except the ones you set yourself. I'm surprised at how little comments are about suicide. It always bothers me when people joke about how they're gonna kill theirself. It's not cool, guys. Suicide is a terrifyingly common thing. To commit suicide means everything in your life is so fricked up that you would rather face the unknowns of death, where you'll never see or do anything again, as opposed to living your own life. It means there is so little joy in what you do every day that it would be easier to just end it all. Stop saying crap like that. It needs to be taken seriously. I think the reason a lot of comments aren't about suicide is because suicide jokes are often a coping mechanism. Obviously a lot of people make the jokes because they're buttholes, but some of those jokes are healing, so it's hard to say that the whole subject is off limits. Came across a post where they were making fun of how this girl looks. The girl was doing a TikTok video. Even worse, she was in a video with her husband, and they were all making fun of how he should just bleach his eyes out, shoot himself and get it over. She probably trapped him and got fat after, and other really awful things. People kill themselves over crap like that. Told them it was fricked up. Personal insults are different than a joke about a specific subject. The jokes you describe is not funny, take no creativity and no punchline. They're just mean. Just make sure to actually make a joke. Don't just say, "Oh, I hate black people, they steal." Bottom text, that's not a joke. I don't think people should make jokes that imply that changing one's gender is as absurd as identifying as an inanimate object. Same. It's just very herder you got him. Adoption. Joking that someone must be adopted because they are unlike other people in the family. Joking about how you're going to put your kid up for adoption if they're naughty. Just stop. I am from Poland. We have many jokes about the Nazis and Jews. In general, I think the comedy should be off limits, but every time someone throws a joke like that, I see cars filled with people, whole families, arriving at extermination camps where they will die. I can't even imagine how I would feel being one of them. Completely hopeless. Dehumanized. I had a similar feeling watching the film Never Let Me Go based on the novel by Kazuo Ishiguro. 9/11. Parents getting divorced or one of them dying. Racism. Suicide. These are all things that are regularly joked about in my school and it's just sad. I agree. My parents got divorced and their relationship, much like the Twin Towers, was crumbling to the ground. Everything should be joked about, or nothing should be joked about. Just because you do not like something or find it funny doesn't mean it should not be joked about. Me. Joking about my depression. I need to stop joking about it. Just take the leap, you know? Step off of joking about it. I don't think it's the subject that necessarily makes something off limits, but the context and the content of the joke. In the right context, and with the right content, almost any subject can be humorous, even the most dark and disturbing. A person must be very tactful and intelligent to be able to make some of these subjects humorous, but it can be done in the right way. Diabetes. Too many people joke about eating a few pieces of candy and oh, well, guess I'm gonna get diabetes. It's a serious disease and type 1 is something you cannot control. My ex had it, and it's quite the scary disease. A really bad low is not fun. As a type 1 diabetic, a good diabetic joke is hilarious. Just don't hit me with her, duh. You can't have sugar. Anything can be a joked about if the joke is crafted and delivered correctly. What the punchline is, the timing, the delivery, knowing who your audience is and reading the room, all can make the difference. In the end, offense is taken, not given. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.